Okay, we're going to look at some slightly more complicated numeracy now. So if you really do understand this, this would be really wise for you to use estimated mean calculations in the controlled assessment that's coming up when you do the financial literacy report. Um, this is where we concern where we group data into different categories. Okay, and what I've got here. Okay, it's different data to what we just looked at in the last one. Okay, I've just sort of typed them in here to save time. But what I've got is I've got this amount of data here, which is a little bit more than what I showed you in the last one. I'm going to add it up. Okay, I've got 30 different house prices. Okay, so I found 30 different houses at different prices. What I've done is I've grouped them. This complicated looking stuff over here, okay, is group data. Okay, and all that means with these funny little symbols and stuff, HP stands for house price. Okay, so I'm going to pop that up in there just so we can see. And all it means is that I'm just looking through the 30 set of data and looking at how many of these houses fall between naught, which obviously is not going to happen, and less than 200,000. It doesn't include 200,000, okay? It's less than 200,000. So if the house was £199,995, it would be in here. So I've gone down the list. So I'd go down looking like this. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 for the Manchester 1 year, for example, in that category. Okay, so when you have your data, that's what you'd need to do. You'd go through finding the frequencies, and then there's prices between 200,000 and less than 300,000. Doesn't include that. There's 6, etc. 6, 3 between 300,000 and 400,000. 4 between 400,000 and 500, and so on. Okay, and there's quite a lot of expensive ones down here in this particular example. Okay, so you're going to start off with this and you just need to explain that. So when you come to group in your data, when you've got prices of things, that's how you do it. You set the group bands by looking at the data that you've got. Okay, you can set the group bands. They can be narrower. They could be £50,000 apart. They could be £20,000 apart. It's just nice to sort of have a good spread like this, and you decide on what those ranges would be. So when you've done that, the frequency, which we've got here as F, okay, we pick the midpoint of that. So what's in the middle between 0 and 200,000? So the midpoint of that price range is 100,000 there, okay? I'm going to get rid of the decimal points. You can see how I do that there on those. Same year, so what's the midpoint of 200 and 300,000? Well, that's 250,000. And let's get rid of those again. And the midpoint between 300 and 400,000 is 350,000. Midpoint between 400 and 500 is 450. And the midpoint here between 500 and 600,000 is 550. And the midpoint between these last two, 600 and 700, is 650,000 there. Okay. So now that we've got those points here, we're going to do we're going to have a go at calculating the estimated mean for this. So we've got this other one here, which has MP times F. Well, midpoint MP times F. So that's what we do. So we go the midpoint times the frequency that occurs. So it's that one, that cell, times that cell there. And we can drag down. Should work fine. If you get the hashtags, because it's too big, it's not big enough to cell, so I'm going to widen it there. And I'm going to get rid of those there. Okay. Now what we need to do is work out the all this added up divided by the frequency. Okay, so adding all these up here, just take that, and we do. So we've got this big total here, and then we've got that divided by that to give us the estimated mean. So the estimated mean, strange font coming up there. Okay, don't know what's going on there with that one. Change it to my Calibri. I'm going to say equals that divided by our total. There you go. So our estimated mean house price for all this data, okay, and the mean value is £390,000, which when you look kind of at this distribution year and the prices that we've got, seems pretty reasonable. And you'd calculate that for your other, you know, for Manchester, Swansea, Newport, Bristol, wherever else you would research, and then you can put those two into a report and compare the difference between the estimated means for that. We're also going to use this information to create some charts and stuff in the next tutorial. Okay, so open this up, go onto here. Sorry, I should have named that there. You'll see it. See it called estimated mean at the bottom. Okay, and have a go at calculating the estimated mean whilst following this tutorial.